way.
Céilí in Irish history is a big social gathering of people who come together to dance. I suppose like any other culture where people dance to celebrate anything, the Irish don't really need reasons to celebrate, so we have quite a lot of Céilís in Ireland. Céilís generally are really informal social gatherings, and nobody needs to know how to do what we call their 1, 2, 3. They don't need to know any steps, they don't need to know anything. Irish dancing, people dance with their arms by their sides for a number of different reasons, but lots of people think that it comes from the clergy years ago, had a big problem with dancing and the association with drink and debauchery, and wouldn't allow anyone to touch each other when they were dancing, particularly at a Céilí, where the tendency was to socialise, and all sorts of mischief could happen at a Céilí. What you'll see is the old style dancers, they didn't dance with their arms by their sides until much later on when the structure did come into it. And you'll see now the likes of Riverdance, they do dance with their arms by their sides. Essentially, I suppose Irish dancing has gone from being a really raw, pagan, sort of celebratory art form right through the ages to become an international phenomenon on grand stages. And I suppose the whole world just loves Irish dancing. The St. Patrick's Festival extends way beyond the capital city. There are St. Patrick's festivals, parades and Céilís happening all over the country.
Back in Wexford, the focus is very much still on hard work and the dress rehearsal for St. Patrick's Day.
It takes a bit of time to get everyone dressed, and then it takes even more time to get them into their places and lined up in the right order, and then out onto the street. And then we have to deal with the traffic as well going up and down the road, so hopefully it'll go smoothly.
This year, they've come up with the theme, the Bazaar, which is a street piece which is like a reverse circus. So instead of the people being in charge, the animals are in charge. So the animals are showing off the people. It should work really well, because you've got the normals that would be in the cages, and they've got a lion tamer who's actually a lion. So it's kind of a strange thing.
We're just getting ready now for this dress rehearsal, so we've got them all costumed up. We have to walk down the main road and get all the floats lined up into order, and then we'll start getting them performing up around the road and see what it's like in the real world.
You will be dehattified if you don't stand up and do this long.
This is the last day to rehearse. This is the last day. If we don't get it now, that's it. This is the only time it'll all be together, because obviously you can't do a rehearsal of a parade every day. People are walking all over the road. The punters are walking all over the road. The kids are not organised. They're just sort of walking, really, and looking around to see what's going on. They're really excited. It's the first time putting their costume on and walking out on the street. And they're not concentrating. They're forgetting that they've actually done a performance for it. Eddie is talking to them all as individuals, saying, this is what you're doing, don't you remember? We've done it for the last few weeks. The monkey drummers are a mess back there all over the place, and the puppets are just kind of wandering around aimlessly. They have forgotten that they're meant to be performing, so yeah. I'm kind of getting a bit annoyed now, actually.
Okay, you guys get ready, okay? Back in your formation, start with your trotting, okay?
The performance was a little off because of the lack of togetherness. Performers, because they're teenagers, they get bored as well. It's a little bit cold for them, so we couldn't get the energy going.
Come on!
So we didn't really get a really good overview of how it's going to look. So have to leave it at Paddy's Day now and see what happens, because we won't have another chance to try another dress rehearsal.
Okay, thank you very much today, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. That was great. I know we had a problem with traffic, but hey, these things happen. And it's true. Okay, I know you guys were really cold, and thank you for not complaining.
Just really well done, and on the day, like, really focus and pay attention to what's going on around you, behind you as well as in front of you, and we'll stay really tight. And I want us to absolutely rock Dublin now. Really rock.
Although the rehearsal could have run more smoothly, Lucy is putting on a brave face.
I mean, it'll all change on the day, and it'll be completely different on the day. We don't have makeup, we don't have the feel of the day. You know, there's so many different elements will come into it. It's impossible to rehearse a parade. Who rehearses a parade? That must be crazy.